This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in here like swimwear all 2024. I know y'all missed me. I know y'all missed the voice. You missed the kid. Obviously, Jim Cross has been holding down the fort. The man, the myth, the legend himself has been all around the country doing some stuff. I ain't even going to talk about it. If you want to find out about it, follow him on Instagram. He's doing some cool stuff. I even saw the man on a gymnastic board. Jim, New Year's. Talk to me about your new hobby of being a gymnast.
Bro, let me tell you, gymnasts have, you can tell me, we got two baseball players on here right now, and you can tell me the hardest thing is to hit a baseball. Mike, bro, I got up on the 4-inch beam. My feet are too big. I swung on that pole. Look, it bends in. It's not like playing on the, monkey bars back home. Like, I thought I was just going to be able to do some crazy shit on it. No, tore up my hands because I didn't have grips. Like I said, the beam, I just tried to stay on it. Nothing crazy. Anyway, gymnasts get the tip of the cap, bro. It ain't for me.
It ain't for you. It ain't for you. That's all right. But we got two dogs on the show today, two hot corner gentlemen that are in there like swimwear like no other. We got Jake Rucker and the man, the myth. I gotta give him love because last time we were on here, I told him you better get a Gold Glove. The man not only delivered, but he showed the world that he is one of the best defensive third basemen in all of baseball. Forget minors. I'm talking all of baseball.
Yeah.
Back on the show, guys. It's a blessing to have y'all here. First and foremost, GBO. Secondly, how was everybody's Christmas? How y'all feeling? What was the holiday season like for you guys this time around?
Blessed, man. Just happy to be around the family. Spend some quality time with the family. It was fun. It was fun.
How about you,
Yeah,
Jake?
absolutely. Family time is the best time of the year, and we take it for granted now just because we're never around them like we used to in high school ball, middle school, high school ball, and now just being able to spend time with them, it's a blessing in disguise.
Without a doubt. And you know what, Jim? The unfortunate part of that answer is that I have to be the asshole that ruins the sentimental moment, the family bonding moment, and ask the important question here, which is, what's the best gift y'all got this year? Let's talk about the materialistics. Let's get into it. What was the best thing you received? What was the best thing you were given? Break it down for me.
You can start us off, Jake.
Honestly, I didn't get anything for on Christmas Day, but the week before, my parents surprised my brother and I on a cruise. We went on a 5-day cruise, and so that's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's a nice gift right there.
So a lot of money in that, but it was a good time.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I would say I got into the golf game a little bit, so my parents got me some. I got a bunch of golf balls because Jake, I be losing them all the time on the golf course. I go through probably a whole case of balls. If there's water, I go through 2 cases. But I got some golf balls, and I got like one of those little things like on the par 3s when you chip it onto the green, you gotta fix up the green because you left a dent in it. I haven't used it yet, but I got one of those too.
Mike, the question is, did anyone give you Legos? Because I believe it was their teammate Andrew Lindsay who came on here with a Lego set in the background, and you about lost your mind because you said as a kid you were too broke for Legos.
I was too broke for Legos. I wanted it as a gift, but no Legos. What did I get this year? I think I bought this for myself. Bought this new mic.
Man, you had to buy your own gifts. Nobody gave you nothing.
I got this hoodie. Check it out. You gotta give some love. Hey, Jim always gets mad when I randomly talk about the Cubs, but he brought it on himself this time. I got this.
Because y'all finished ahead of us one season. Y'all feeling yourself.
One season. Who won the last shit? Who won the last? Right.
Oh, okay. But we got 13. We ain't gonna do that.
Hey, Trey. Imagine wasting not only Paul Goldschmidt's prime, but Nolan Arenado's. Could never be me.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's tough. And Yachty.
You know what's funny? My son got gifted those baseball cards, and I was going through them the other day, and I was just thinking about how all your boys are no longer Chicago Cubs. I was looking at Bryant, Rizzo, and all them. I thought about how much you probably hate life right now.
Can I ask? Let's be real. How they doing?
How the Cardinals? The Cubs got. Oh, you gonna go with the one guy that came to Cardinals? I think he's the reason why we struggled this year because we picked up a Cub and look what it did to us.
Hey man, you know what happens when Cardinals win clubs though? Championship. So I don't want to hear it. But
anyway, the real question you need to ask him, Mike, before you continue on this thing, it's always not about what you get; it's about what you give. Like I gave fantastic gifts. I wonder if they gave anything big time.
100%. Well, let's start off. I want to hear Jake. Jake, you were talking all that stuff about, man, I'm a family man. I love the holiday season. We're not around them as much. So did you spend like you missed?
It was pretty tough to kind of match all that money from the cruise, but so there's a little league that I grew up playing in. They're doing some like fundraiser for one of their teams. I kind of gave back a little bit to them. And then bought a nice little robe for my mom so she can be comfy around the house. Got my dad a nice little warm jacket for the winter. Little stuff like that. But it was a good Christmas for sure.
Sentimental. I like these. These are thoughts of something he thought, hey man, they would actually use this. I like it.
Yeah. I would have to say that the best gift that I gave this year was to my dad. Because I was fortunate to play in the fall league this year, so they gave us 2 of the big league jerseys with our names on the back. And so I put one of those in a frame and I signed it for him and I gave it to him. So I was pretty excited to give him one of those.
Trey, not to get off topic, but I meant to DM you about this too. I was just hoping we'd get a chance to talk again. My guy, James Triantos was just talking about you not too long ago. He was like,
yeah.
Monster. And I was like, yo, bro, we were talking. It was crazy because I was like, yeah, I know Trey. Like, me and Trey did a show together like over a year ago. And he was like, dude, and he randomly just brought you up. I was like, oh, that's love, bro. Like, that was so cool.
Yeah. No, James is good. He can hit the ball. So
kid's a monster.
He's good.
We could talk about him for hours, but I still think he could be a third baseman. I don't like they got him at second, but he fits in wherever they want him.
Speaking of Mike, you didn't ask me about my gifts, and I was gonna tell you I had 2 of them here and off the bench related. So let me ask you which one you like better. All right, one of them I'm not like a huge fan of, but apparently like I don't know what's trending. These guys might be able to tell me, and I'll start with that. You know what? I got 2 hats. I got the official team hat, which is cool because I ain't actually on the team, and then I got this with Justin Hare, the Campbell baseball coach. Send me this. These are rope hats. Apparently they in, Mike. Apparently this thing is like it. But I got the team hat. And then what do you like better, Mike? The hat or I got the Omaha College World Series official baseball signed to Jim by Brock Wilkin. Which one you like better? You know Brock, he's been on here.
I do know Brock. I know Brock.
I got 2 hats from the coach. Well, like I said, one of them's the team hat, so I ain't even on the team, and I got it in it. And then this rope hat, and then I got the baseball. What you think?
Listen, I'm not trying to put you on blast because I don't know if it's in your vicinity right now, but I would have to see the second hat because I'm a big – the ball is great. Brock is a monster, but I'm a big hat guy. So, like, if that second hat is clean too, it just depends, man, because the ball is going on a shelf that I only look at probably once a week, but the hats are forever. That's kind of tough. That's kind of tough.
The camel hump, roll humps there's a reason why I like it, man. As a matter of fact, these boys unfortunately sent them packing in the postseason. These 2 specifically.
No disrespect to Brock. Please don't clip this, but I'd have to rock with the hats for now. Yeah. But for Easter, I would rock with the Brock ball. I would rock with the Brock ball for Easter.
But I tell you, Mike, since we ain't gonna get into that, man, poor Campbell. They absolutely wrecking like monster offense. They get sent to Knoxville. Ain't even cool. Then the next year, they get sent to South Carolina. Like. They get sent to the SEC powerhouses. No mercy.
It's just unfortunate circumstances, man. That's all it is. But it's not worse than what happened to Florida State. Gentlemen, were you guys watching college football this weekend?
Of course. Yep. Everybody's tuned into the college football now.
Anybody could take the floor, whoever wants it. I just want everybody's opinion right now. Not just Florida State based, but in general. What was your impression on the first round? How are we feeling about it? Like, listen, at the end of the day, I told Jim this. I told our other guys that in off the bench that I'm going to have to rock with the Huskies just because I'm really close with Kelsey Plum. And she's going dogs all the way. So I got to forget about it. I'm rocking out with the Huskies. I'll never rock with them again, but they're in their shine. So I got to show up and show out for my girl KP. So where are you guys at right now as it pertains to the Natty and just of what we've seen so far?
So I will have to say that I'm no Alabama fan at all, but I'm an SEC fan, so I was rooting for Alabama. So when they got put out yesterday, I was not too happy. But I'm not a Michigan fan at all. So I'm gonna have to go with you. I think I'm rooting for the Huskies too.
Come on, Trey. You welcome on the band. Hey, this is Plum bandwagon. She's recruiting people all 2024. Jake,
it's not.
What you rocking with, Jake?
I know it's
I gotta
risky
go.
for him to say he was rooting for Alabama as a Tennessee guy on here.
That is risky.
Hey, I said, like I said, I'm no Alabama fan, but I'm an SEC fan. So
Morgan Wallen's shaking right now. I know he's hot. I know he's hot.
Bro, your boy Simo found out this year, man, going to a Georgia game wearing a Georgia jersey. My man had to get off social media for like a week. It's risky being
Oh,
a Tennessee
man.
because nobody,
Yeah.
Mike, one thing you will learn, I know you don't get on Twitter too much, but Tennessee fans are the most ruthless fan base when it comes to social media. And if you make a mistake as a player, boy, they're gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible, horrible. Jake, how about you, man? What's the experience been like so far?
I mean, I gotta go with the Huskies too. I mean, both those games were really good matchups. They both have ended in being pretty good games, but I like offense. Penix Jr. is insane. So I think he can tear up that Michigan offense or defense. But wasn't Penix Jr. committed to Tennessee out of high school?
He was, and there was a couple places I know that he spoke vocally about, but I don't know if he actually committed.
Okay. Because I saw something on Twitter pop up saying that he had like a commitment picture saying he was going to Tennessee and then he like decommitted or something, but it was like a while ago.
The reason why I can't root for Washington or Penix is because after that game, everybody's still trying to say that he was better than Jaden Daniels, and I can't rock with it. I just can't.
I think, like, all right, well,
If you say it, I'll cut this show off. I'm telling you right now.
He's better than Jaden Daniels 100%.
Bro, no, he's not, dude. You didn't
Okay,
watch
but, like,
LSU play if you believe that.
You're
hey, well,
looking,
who's got the hardware? Who's got the hardware?
exactly. But you know, like, who actually played in that game though? You know what I mean? But like, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think when you look at the intangibles, like, all right,
Hold on. You know what? Hold on. No, I gotta go somewhere, Mike, because you shouldn't have done that, Trey. You just before you came on this show, I talked about how you got robbed of the SEC Player of the Year, right? And per your argument, Dylan Cruz should have got it because he got the hardware. Oh, what's up now? You ran into
No.
one.
I'm saying Jaden Daniels. He has the hardware. He won the Heisman.
No, okay. I thought you were saying.
obviously-
I thought you meant
I
like
think
as
he's
in
better.
Washington's gonna be the one with the championship. Okay.
all I'm
no,
saying though is, you know, you look at it, and Jim, I'm gonna put you on blast right now, and it's if you don't know, it's okay if you don't know. Can you name 2 wide receivers on the Huskies right now? Because I can name 2 cats on LSU that are top 10 draft picks, wide receivers.
They actually consider Washington's trio to be better than LSU.
But Jim, that wasn't what I asked you.
No, I can't.
It? I can't. Exactly. Penix all the way. I pause. But with that, man, this is important question.
Notice you didn't name them.
Listen, because I
Exactly.
can't. That's how I know he's a dog. Come on now. Let's be real here.
What are LSU's? Give me 2 of LSU's.
Come on, bro. Don't play with me. Rome is a monster, bro. I'm a Bears fan, bro. I'm staring at Rome in the eyes, and I'm like, I need that man in my life.
Who?
I need that man in. What?
Who are you saying?
Rome cracked out of his mind. Can you hear me, sir?
I don't know who you say. I know who Malik Neighbors and I know who Thomas is. I don't know who you're talking about.
Bro,
you need to stick to baseball for real. Now I understand everything. Now I know why you know so much about baseball. You get off football and you know basketball.
Man, Jim ain't never played.
How your Bulls doing?
My Bulls actually won their last 15. We're actually really doing well. I'm just saying.
You know what's crazy? You've been rambling so much. We ain't never gonna get to baseball night because you still talking about.
You're the one that wants to argue all day, bro. Listen, last question. I don't even want to get into it. I was gonna ask Trey about his photography. I was gonna ask about what he's getting into, but no. Jim says we got to get into the show.
I want to know about Trey's photography.
No. Trey, don't just say a damn word about your photography, bro. I do not care anymore. I was invested. I was excited. I don't want to hear shit about it. Trey, do you have a New Year's resolution?
Yeah. So I guess my New Year's resolution, I tried to do it last year, but I wasn't successful. But going on today, I succeeded, and yesterday I succeeded. Okay. Waking up in the morning, I want to be able to stay off my phone. But when I wake up in the morning, first thing I want to do is go see some sunlight. And so I think that's gonna help me out. I tried, like I said, I tried to do it last year, but wasn't successful. But I think this is the year. I like 2024 sounds a little bit better.
Oh, it's Kobe year, baby. It's Kobe year.
Oh, yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
How about you, man?
Yeah. Honestly, pretty similar to me. Just get really good sleep every night. And just waking up. Just trying to get in a routine just to make it consistent throughout the whole year. But especially just like getting in the word about like 10, 15 minutes a day. Because it can really help you, but help others just kind of go where you see what you're going through and whatnot. And so I think those two things for sure are going to help me out a lot this year.
Okay, I'm with it. Jim, do you have a New Year's resolution, sir?
Look, I'm here for the entertainment. I'm going to tell you about a family member in my house's resolution. Okay. You know, my daughter has stayed focused, 17 years old, focused on academics, straight A's always, focused on athletics, committed to LSU. And here we go. She comes out with the resolution in front of me. You know, this makes me cringe, Mike. Still, she looks at me and goes, Dad, it's time I found me a man. What? That's your resolution, to find a man? All the things we could do in this world? No, honey, we have stayed focused. You going to school, and I sure don't want you to find a dude at LSU. Man, I may root for LSU, but stay away from them cats. Oh, Mike, man, I'm telling you, like my resolution didn't matter after that. My resolution then became to not kill somebody this year. You know what I'm saying?
Well, on that note, I'm gonna let Jim take it away because I will not incriminate myself on this podcast. But
No, so Jake, man, on and off the bench, we always focused on collegiate stuff on pros and Joes. It's more minors, but since we never had you on there, man, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it. You know, your time first, you know, obviously you're a kid from Nashville. Was Tennessee always the school you wanted to go to?
Not at all. I never, growing up, I was never a Tennessee fan. I actually despised them. I always wanted to go to Vandy or Florida State, one of those two schools for sure, because Florida State is always successful and I like the colors. But Vandy was just a local team, and I knew Corbin for like a long time, and I always wanted to go there. But it was just kind of unrealistic at the time, just because the kids that were in our class, there's like 15 shortstops committed, and I just knew I probably wasn't going to be able to play right away and stuff. So, yeah, I was never a Tennessee fan growing up. So
That's wild, man. They're right.
me neither. That's all right.
I mean, I just assumed because we hadn't had him on, I just thought, you know, Tennessee kid wanted to play at Tennessee.
yeah,
Bro, you
yeah.
wanna know the truth, Jake? I don't want you to feel bad on this show on your first time here. So I'm gonna let you know. A Chicagoan, like Jim always says, got no money. Hey man, I didn't even know Tennessee was a place until I was like 17. So you're all good,
No
bro.
way, bro.
I didn't even know, bro. Talk about Chicago public schools, bro. We took our Constitution test. We took all that, man.
Oh
And as
man.
long as you wrote your name on the paper, bro, they got you out of there. You were good by.
Bro, text came through, Mike. My wife said my daughter paused when she heard her name and listened and said, I am dead, because she heard that whole thing. It's tragic.
For like 3 days. I wouldn't.
Hey, she got to talk to me because Thursday senior night, I got to walk her out on that field. I mean, look.
You know what though? Really quick before we keep going, you know where you fucked up? Part of my language, but you know what messed up? Listen, bro. All these LSU players gonna listen to this podcast. They're gonna be like, "Man, Jim Cross' daughter coming next year. She's single."
Bro,
I want to be on and off the bench podcast more. I gotta get in with pops.
no,
You know,
I'm trying to tell you, they know where they'll end up, and they know why I say they're trouble. Look, I'm gonna tell you. And the Tennessee guys, they trouble too, man. Stay away from them. No, all right, Jake. What was your? I told you to prep for this, so we didn't have to think all day. It works because Mike takes up so much time on this episode. What was your favorite moment as a Vol?
Yeah, I had a couple come to mind. Besides making the last out to go to Omaha in 21, it had to be in regionals. Obviously, everyone knows it is Drew Gilbert's walk-off grand slam against Wright State, bottom 9. I was on first base and he hit it over my head, and I saw it go into the night. I was like, oh my gosh, that really just happened.
I am not a TikTok guy, but Mike will know. I've sent them all to him. I've watched every version of Gilbert's TikTok, like all the different cuts. Anyway, I can watch it a million times more. Like it never gets old.
Yep. That was
all right.
surreal.
What was your favorite, series that you can remember back? Obviously I mentioned the Florida one where y'all were trolling, wearing the helmets. Vandy adds a unique perspective now because y'all had some sweeps in there. What was your favorite series?
I'd honestly have to go back to Trey and I's freshman year. when we played a really good Ole Miss team at our place last SEC series, we took 2 out of 3 of them for us to be able to make regionals for the first time in like 15 years. And so I think that was just we just played so well that weekend because we knew what the stakes were and whatnot, and that just kind of set the tone for the next 2 years to come after that. So
Yeah, you set the tone right because I was in Oxford for Trey's senior year, and they got hauled off in a prison bus for committing a crime for what they did in Oxford.
yeah, they disrespect them boys.
Bro, it was like 10-0 in the third, and the Ole Miss fans
Yeah.
was hitting the bars because Oxford got plenty of bars, so it was like, man, bump being at this game. And then my boy Mike's boy, multiple time guest Dylan DeLucia, gonna come on here try to say,
Oh gosh.
I don't remember that interview. You know what you said.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
dang.
he said, "Hey, and when Lane Kiffin threw out the first pitch, we took it personal."
Yeah,
A
Mike,
golf ball.
my man came out through a golf ball for the first pitch, talking smack.
Man, it happens. It happens.
But one more thing, and then we'll get over to Trey. What was your draft day like? Because we had Trey come on here and recap, man. When you as a kid, that's the magic moment, right? Even with everything that happened in college, it's hearing your name in the MLB draft. Who were you with? What was that moment like?
Yeah, so it was honestly just my brother and I at home. My parents were at work, and I knew I wasn't going to go to first day, so I was assuming second day. And 6th round comes around, and I get a call from my agent saying the Twins want me in the 6th round. I was like, sweet, I'll take it. But then they decided to take a pitcher in the 6th round, and I was like, no way, this is insane. Am I going to get picked up? And then 7th round comes around, the Twins called my agent back again and said, hey, we'll take you here for in this pick. And so after that, dude, like my heart dropped, like just my whole world perspective just changed, and it was just an unreal moment. And it was pretty cool just to spend that with my brother because obviously my brother got drafted this past year out of high school too with the Tigers. And so he kind of saw what that experience was like, and he was able to learn from that and stuff. And so I think that was pretty cool to have that
Mike,
moment
both
with
get
him.
drafted out the same division too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We're throwing
Little
hands.
rivalry.
We're throwing hands. Don't talk to me at Thanksgiving. Don't even look at me.
So Trey, coming over to you, man. I had messaged Tony V, told him I had y'all coming on together. He said, man, what a epic duo. And I want to flip it and ask you about him. When you talk about the recruiting that's being done, when you talk about going to Omaha in 2021, having the best team in 2022, even though it ended game 3 of the Super Regionals, and then back to Omaha in 2023, like just talk to me about what he's been able to do to change the culture, the recruiting, the winning, and what he means to Tennessee.
Yeah, no, I think that was one of the biggest things when he was recruiting me, I guess, and our whole recruiting staff is just when he was recruiting me, he said, hey, like we're gonna build a family here, and we're gonna build the culture here that we want to. And it was kind of hard for him, like for people to believe that, just because of like what Tennessee had been through, like before that. I mean, obviously they were successful before we got there, but just being a new head coach and then coming in and just saying, hey, like I'm gonna bridge family, and then we're gonna do this together. I think that just meant a lot as far as the recruiting process. And then when you got to campus, it's like nothing changed, like nothing switched up. He was always the same guy. I'm not speaking for any other programs. I'm sure they're all the same. The coaches love their players and stuff, but Tony Vitello, I just think that I don't know, nothing changed. Like there was nothing fishy when you got to campus. It is what it was. He loves to compete, so you're gonna go out there and you're gonna compete every day. Everybody's gonna be given a shot, and I think that's one of the best things about him. As far as that.
Yeah, and one of the things that has been talked about with most of the guests on the show from Tennessee, and then I got to see with all the different series, watching him walk around and talk with his players, that relationship you were talking about, and then he's a part of every part of just like getting ready. But I asked the players, what he's talked about. I may even ask you when you came around, but he's always checking in on you guys, making sure everything is okay. And I think about Kyle Booker just came on here recently, who's now a part of Oral Roberts, and we asked him, and it was him and Tony V who sat down and decided together that he needed to change the scenery, right? Like, Kyle admitted, he came into the SEC and he just wasn't prepared for what all it would be. And Tony sat down with him and let's find out, what you want to do, what's best for you. And it was a decision they made together. And that's kind of crazy, But Tony caring
Right.
about him more as a person than a baseball player, let's try to reevaluate. And I think it's, going to end up well. I mean, Book, like I think Book's going to go to Oral Roberts and thrive. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean that guy, he has all the tools. And I remember him texting me saying he had the same conversation with me, and he was like, "Hey man, what should I do?" Because I was kind of in the same situation, but I ended up coming back to Tennessee, as far as like transferring wise and stuff like that. But I told him, I was like, "Hey, at the end of the day, it's not anything that like people are gonna hate you for. At the end of the day, if it's what's best for you, then go ahead and do it." And the fact that, like you said, Vitello was there, like, "Hey, like you need to change up to senior," I think that just speaks a lot on Vitello's name. That, hey, like, even though you're not with the Volunteers, you're not with our program, I'm still going to look out for you. I'm still going to do things because he just embraces that family aspect of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. The question I got to ask you in regards to guys leaving in that family aspect, Pavs told me he couldn't believe it in real time. He did not think. I mean, how surprised were you that Burns he went to Wake?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of guys in like a fantasy football group chat, and we were all like, why is he leaving and why is he doing this? But yeah, I was surprised. But he's going to be good wherever he goes. If he stayed at Tennessee, if he went to LSU, TCU, or Wake
Oh, I mean,
Forest,
I think
he's going to be good regardless.
I think he's possibly, because he can go carve up the ACC. I think he might be the first guy off the board. There's no doubt, but it was
Right.
just interesting. And I understand there's the politics of it, right? He wants to be a starter, different things, but like, it was just really surprised because Tennessee's going to be right back in Omaha, for my opinion, this year. I think Wake will be too, but like, I don't know. He's already set up at Tennessee because if you look at this upcoming year, obviously QB1, Drew Beam's coming back. I mean, they got arms, but the lineup is what gets my attention. I know that's what gets y'all, excited. When you look at Semo, Burke, Peebles, Inslee, Dryling, Tiers, Amick, like you just go all day. Like top to bottom,
Yeah.
1 through 9. I think Tennessee's gonna have the best batting lineup in the country. So like, I don't know. That's the team I'd want to be with.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you say that too, because when they were last year, when they were like, oh, there's a bunch of new guys at the Burke, the SEMO, they're drying, like, oh, they're gonna have to find their own clinch or their own cliche or whatever it's called, and everyone was kind of nervous for them because they were young guys, but they made it to Omaha, so that's why I think it's gonna make this year like a lot more special. It's because they're older guys, they're veteran, they've been to a lot of the SEC parks, they went to LSU, they've been to Ole Miss as freshmen, so I think this year's gonna be really special for them.
Yeah, no doubt. And so, Jake, I want to ask you in regards to, these guys on these teams we're talking about, you played with a lot of them, who was the best pitcher that you faced while you were at Tennessee, through fall and everything else?
Oh man. Well, facing Crochet in the fall wasn't fun. He wasn't throwing 100, but Trey knows he was still throwing 97, 98, and he's 6'6". So got to be Croce. But during the season, like a very slept on one, I thought was Zach Thompson from Kentucky, lefty, our freshman year. He was throwing like 98 with like a banger curve. And he just carved all of us up Friday. But we did face Emerson Hancock too, freshman year. He's really good, but yeah, probably those aren't for sure.
All right, so I left a hard question for you. You know what? We're gonna find out if you're willing to step out there on that ledge and make a pick. So if I ask you right now to project who will have the best pro career, thinking about teammates, like I said, Dolander, Drew Beam, Ben Joyce, or Chase Burns, who you betting on?
Oh my gosh.
That's what I said. I'm gonna ask you
Those are
first.
some
I'm gonna
names
come
right
to Trey
there.
after that. Yeah, no, I think all four of them will be successful, but I'm asking you who will have the best.
Those are some arms, man. Oh my gosh. I just think just with like everything that's kind of happened and whatnot and all the projectability with those guys and stuff. I do Dolly is just he's unreal. Like Dolander is like when we faced him when he's at Georgia Southern, he carved against us that Saturday. I was like, who is this kid? And that's when I don't know if Connor Pav ever told you guys about that story, but he basically recruited him from Georgia Southern to come play with us that next year. And yeah, he just everything that he has, just the repertoire and his body, his build, his projectability is just he's a big leaguer for sure. And so I'm excited to see his future.
Mike,
So,
my favorite part was Doe showed up to Knoxville and Drew Gilbert greeting him and letting him know that he still took him yard because that's what Matt King does.
adorable, adorable. But Jake, hey, so you bring up the recruiting part. Was your answer any recruiting there? I'm just curious. You know, is that
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't.
But
That's the answer,
Pat-
and that's
so-
the right answer. See, I don't know. This is I rock with these cats, man. These GBO kids, man, they ain't getting in no trouble. I know
No,
Trey already. Trey wasn't there. Trey never saw nothing.
I know what
what
you're talking about.
what's interesting with these pictures, guys, and you know, Doe came on here and talked about it with me and Mike, and we'll talk to Joyce about it when he comes. Talking about the time that they have, like time that you used to not have, and especially he got it because he didn't have to throw this year, but to work on things, right? And if you look at Joyce, like, you know, he was throwing 105 in college, and then he dialed it back, and I say dialed it back as if this is slow, but to like 99, 100, but then you see the movement on it. And you ask him what's different, and he said he just had time to work. And Doe was talking about that. Like, I mean, that's crazy that Mike, these guys it's not like some extreme coaching they're getting to the pro league. They just got time to work on their mechanics.
Yeah, no, I mean it's very important, and when you have someone like Tony, you know, it's very strategic. Everything moves with purpose, and that's really what you need out of a coach. That's what you need out of a manager, or even sometimes just a general manager, your front office guys. You know, you got guys out there. This kid throws 105. Listen, respect to Ben Joyce because I love Ben. Ben's a dog. But I'm terrified for Ben because of the Angels organization. I'm terrified of how they handle that. You know, throw the kid in there. You know, you're already in the big leagues. You got Mike Trout talking about how much they love him. But like that kind of stuff, if not handled correctly, can be detrimental to your career. And the way Tony's gone about it, man, it's just full on cylinders, man. Listen, if I don't think you're ready, then you're not ready. But you're going to get every opportunity to show me that you're ready. And I love that mentality because it can definitely make or break a player's development.
Well, and that's the thing we talked about, right? Having Doe come on and talk about they didn't have him pitch, but then you talked adamantly about how terrible the Pirates organization is. What they do, they go out there throwing skiing even after all those innings. Like, had to
Yeah.
show them.
Crazy. It's crazy.
There's no
But-
reason for anything.
But let's get to the hitters thing, and then I'll let Mike get into all things, you know, MiLB. You know, I want to ask you guys, like, you know, first, Jake, who do you think, because we've asked Trey this question, who do you think hit the best bombs? Was it Gilbert or was it somebody else when you were at Tennessee?
Well, I think just y'all know Evan Russell's 2 games where he hit 3 homers. I mean, he hit some nukes, but that was just surreal to see just how that went on and stuff. Just especially that Vandy game, because we were just back and forth, and I think Vandy got up by like 3 or 4 runs, and he hit that homer to kind of put it to like 1. It's like, oh, okay, we can come back and win this thing and stuff. And he kept us in those games. Both those games, he had 3 homers. So
Yeah, I mean, the only reason he didn't hit more his senior year is he came on here and told us he didn't even take BP all fall. All he did was practice catching because he was scared to death. Said he lost sleep the night before catching Chase Burns. It was like this man went from not catching all to catching the most elite pitching staff in baseball. But I was gonna ask you guys, and then I'll turn over to Mike. You know, the reason I asked the bomb question was, Trey, and I'll start with you. Blake Burke, 479 feet in Southern Miss, off the roof of a church, man. Is that as good as it gets?
I mean, I think it should be illegal for him to have a metal bat in his hands. If you're hitting the ball 479 feet, that's crazy. That's crazy. I can only imagine what that feels.
I mean,
hit
his
one
swing. Have you seen where, you know, we talk about TikTok, you seen where they put him side by side with Ken Griffey and how similar that swing and even the bat drop? It's kind of crazy, especially when you look at
Yeah,
Now,
it's
Jake, I want to
ridiculous.
throw this one to you. I'm gonna take over Jim's question because it popped in my head. With that church, what's your next move? Do you start praying? Do you apologize? Do you tell God to thank you for it? What happened? Like, what happened? What's your next step? What do you have to do to the Vatican to get in God's good graces again after you just dented?
Oh man. I mean, he's a forgiving God, so he'd forgive me for sure, and he knew that was gonna happen before. And so
Jake, I rock with Jake.
He could have pushed it to the right a little bit for it to not hit the church, but
should have not built the church there.
That's right, yeah. They didn't think
I think you got to auction off that ball if you're the church and get your church fixed. It's just very simple.
Part of my language, but hell no, they asking me for money every time I walk in that building. They're fine. They're fine. I'm just trying to learn about the Lord, and this man walk up to me with a basket asking for $1.
That's Chicago, though, bro. That probably wasn't a basket. That was a gun, and you were being robbed, bro.
I know a lot more about that than I do about God, though. But I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm a reborn. But man, listen. I gotta ask the questions here because I've been thinking about them all day long, watching your development, watching you guys grow. Trey, first of all, I'm gonna keep patting you on the back because you stood on business, and I'm not one to just hype people up. But you told me exactly what you were gonna do, and you did it. Jake, this is our first time interacting, man. A lot of great people in this Twins organization. A lot of people that you could look at and say, this is a guy that could take me under his wing. This is a guy that, hey, maybe he's not mainstream. Maybe he's not Carlos Correa, but this is somebody in all different levels of the pipeline that is respected. Who's somebody throughout this season that took you under their wing or that you just got to pick the brain of throughout the year?
Yeah, I got to shout out my boy Alex Isola. He's a catcher in our org. He's a few years older than I am, but he really took me under his wing, basically just because I started out in Double-A this whole year, and it was just kind of a big jump. I've been moving pretty quick. I've been blessed just to kind of been moving up in our org very quick, just because our org is pretty stacked just from in my position and stuff. But them giving me the opportunity to start there right away was awesome, and I started off pretty good at the beginning of the year, and then I kind of hit a cold streak for like about a month, and Alex just kind of was there for me to help me get through that, and basically just got me through it, and I ended up the last 2 months doing really, really well and just kind of getting back on track for this next year. So I got to give my shout out to him for sure.
Without a doubt. And you talk about that, 249 on the year, 9 home runs, 63 RBIs, which I think is the more notable one. I think the home runs, obviously, you got your casuals, you got your guys out there, dinger derbies. Everybody loves the home run derby. I could give 2 F's about any of that. You know what I mean? Like, what are you bringing to this organization? What is your role? And, to speak more on what your goal was throughout this season, did you think you met your goal throughout the 2022-2023 season, or was there still work to be done that you felt like you could have touched on a little more?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have a lot to work on for sure. And, but I think this year was a great learning year for sure. Cause like I said, when I started off the year really well, and then I hit that cold streak. I was like in the very bottom of, that's like probably the worst I've ever played, like in my baseball career, in my life. And so I was able to really learn a lot from that experience. And, I'm glad I did that. And I think God put that in my life for a reason. And so I can bounce back from that and really learn from those mistakes and struggles. But definitely, like, there's a lot of goals that I want to hit this year for sure. But yeah, this past year was definitely a learning stage that I think I can tackle on for this next year coming up.
Most definitely, bro. And then Trey, obviously, we've already talked to you about guys who took you under their wing last year, but going into this year, who was somebody that you built a relationship with that you didn't really have going into the season and ended up being more valuable than you would have thought?
Yeah, I think that my infield coordinator, Cody Ransom, I had no idea who he was. It was his first year coming into the organization, and he actually let me use his glove. So I got to give him a little bit of credit for that Gold Glove. He let me use his glove that he used when he was playing in the big league. So I think that was nice to have. But yeah, I told him from day one, hey, I want to get better at defense, and I want to be able to move my feet more. I'd be more like versatile. And he was like, all right, well, I'm going to be here on the backfields every day in spring training. If you want to come put in the work, come put it in. And I think that was just one of the guys that I really looked up to, because I was able to look at his stats and what he did in the major league, and it was like, oh, like, he's not talking any mess. Like, he actually did this stuff. He made 5 errors one year. He made 3 errors one year. Like, and he wanted me to get better. And I think that was just, Jake knows there's a lot of people in pro ball who are giving you information that want you to succeed. And you can kind of tell, like, who are the ones that want to see you succeed and who are the ones that kind of just want to give you the information. And I think there's a handful of the ones that want to see you succeed. And I just think it's really cool for him because he didn't have to do that. He could have just been there and be like, hey, I'm going to hit ground balls every day. But No, he was there saying, hey, I'm going to be here in the backfields. We're going to do these early work drills. I'm going to make sure your hands are ready. So then when you go over there to the big league games that you're prepared, because he wanted to see me succeed. And I think that was the biggest thing that happened to me that year.
Most definitely, bro. And just follow-up question on that. Is the glove making a return for 2024?
Oh, for sure. Had to give her a little break a little bit, but hey, she's back on the grind. Had to lotion her up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Make sure she's nice and ready to go for the season because it's a good one. It's like one of those. Jay can probably relate to this. It's one of those gloves when you put it on your hand, you're like, oh, this glove's gonna catch everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what it feels like when I put it on. It's a vacuum.
You get those ones too where I just feel like when I used to play in center all the time in high school, you have those conversations with yourself like, yeah, man, it's just too tight. It's just I don't feel this. Like it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing a glove. It feels like I just have like a rubber band on my hand, and you get that fit, man. And it's man, bro, I'd leave any one of my ex-girlfriends for the perfect glove. I'll let you know.
Hey, and that's the last thing you want to be worried about is when the ball 105 is coming at you and you're worried about if this glove's too tight.
Come on, bro. Like we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen at the pro level. But enough talk.
Right.
Hey, I do got a question about the glove, Mike. Before you move on.
Nah, go ahead.
When y'all are in the minor leagues, do y'all worry about what your glove looks like as much as you do in college? Like you obviously see when everybody gets their glove in at Tennessee and everybody's got all these flashy statements. Do you worry about all that once you get to the next level?
I mean, most important part you want to make sure is able to catch the ball. I think that's the most important part. But also you want it to look good. So I feel like I still customize my gloves. Put like a little saying on the side and some cursive, and I think if it looks good, it's gonna play good.
Without a doubt, yeah. I always felt like Jake. I don't know how you felt, but like, where are you at as it pertains to that? Adding words, adding motivational quotes. I see that starting to pick up a lot more lately. Are you into that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I customize a glove. I try to customize a glove one a year. I always put the same stuff on my glove. My PlayStation account name, Ruck Daddy. I play COD a lot.
We can run it. We can run it right after
Fortnite. We always. Yeah,
I got $100 right now on Dolander to smoke Ruck Daddy.
I'm telling you right now.
He's gonna drop bodies
COD or Fortnite
on Call of Duty.
Hey, wait, Ruck.
Those the GOAT.
No build or build though.
Oh, no build. I can't not
Come
build.
On, bro. Ruck,
No build. And then I'm gonna turn around. It just shows that I ain't tight with Jake yet. I'm gonna turn around and bet on QB1 Drew Beam to take him in Fortnite.
Oh, Beam's nasty at Fortnite.
See, I take Ruck. Give me Ruck. I don't care. He plays no build. If we playing no build, I'm taking Ruck all day. That's point blank. Period. We getting into that.
Yeah, my shot's good.
Y'all can keep playing those games. I'm gonna stick to playing Madden. Anytime I say it, also anytime I want to get on them sticks, let's go.
Hey, now you talking about language, Jim. I like some Madden.
These dudes talking about dropping bodies. I don't got all that time for all that, man.
But Trey, man, before we get into the rest of it and talk about obviously everything that goes into minor league ball, I'll throw it to Jim after this last one. This season offensively for you wasn't too shabby either. 272 on the year, 14 home runs. We got 72 RBIs on the day. You look at what this Nationals organization has been able to put together. And by the way, shout out to the Nationals because that Juan Soto deal looking 10 times better today than it did yesterday, huh, man? But no disrespect to the Padres organization, but CJ Mackenzie Gore, absolute monsters in that organization right now. And you're out there with the best of them, showing up and showing out every day. Offensively, what were you seeing off the ball from pitchers this year that was a little bit different than last year to just be able to elevate your game to where you wanted it to be?
Yeah, it's different because in college you play the same team just for like a weekend series, so like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But in pro ball, you're playing the same team from Tuesday to Sunday. So like if you struggle like on the first day with hitting the slider and chasing the slider in the dirt, they're gonna keep punishing you with that pitch until you figure out or show them that you can hit it. So I feel like that was just the biggest thing. Figuring out what you do really good and like what I do really good, and then leaving all the other junk like away. Because if you struggle day one with hitting the slider down or hitting like chasing the fastball up, they're gonna keep punishing you with that until you prove that you can hit it. So I think that was just like the biggest thing for me as far as offensive wise.
Most definitely.
Yeah, are y'all let me ask y'all. We talked to a lot of the guys, and obviously it's got to be getting packed in there with the amount of guys who went pro with Tennessee. But have y'all been back to Knoxville working in the facilities at all?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we've been back. There's a bunch of a group of guys who are back, and that's what makes it really cool. Because like when me and Ruck were there was probably 2 or 3 pro guys that would come back and work out. But now 4 or 5 years
That's
later,
what I'm
there's
saying. Y'all got like
15
30
dudes.
dudes. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
ain't
it's
enough
cool.
room.
It's cool to see that. Right. And they got a brand new weight room, so if you want to get into the weights, you can get in there. And I know y'all seen the renovations they're doing to the stadium. It looks sick.
Seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
that. It looks sick.
Yep.
They don't look as sick as Northwestern does, but Northwestern be sick for different reasons. But yeah, so yeah.
Mike, yeah, what he said, look, because I've been doing the tours with my son. If you ain't got a new weight room, you behind. Like he said that, like everybody's getting a new one. Like
No,
this
most
top
definitely.
SEC program, you got to. And they said the renovations they got to, man. They packing Mike in the postseason. They putting just as many folks outside watching the watch party as they do in the stadium. Because you can't have that, man. You gotta start fitting more folks in there.
The gym tour of 2024 is going to be crazy. Listen, Jim, I would listen. I want to say this clear because I don't want you telling stories saying I didn't invite you. I'm inviting you to the shot. But you're gonna have to avoid Urbana and you're gonna have to avoid Northwestern. They on some weirdo shit as of late, man. I can't lie to you. We got a lot of allegations out there. Jim, I don't want nothing happening to that pretty face, man. I can't let it happen.
I'll tell you what I'll do. If I'm going to Illinois, I'm going to Peoria to watch RJ Yeager.
Don't do that either. Peoria got nothing. All they got is Jaeger out there, man. That's all. That's the thing they got going.
Look, you forgot I was stationed once upon a time in Great Lakes. I went to Chicago all the time. Remember, I told you I got lost downtown one time. It got sketchy as hell.
It's always sketchy, man. It's just my day.
Always.
Day
All
in
right.
life.
Well, let's get to the game and close this thing out. We're gonna play this or that. Obviously, Jake, you're not familiar, but you know how this or that works. Give you one option or the other. You choose one. The rules we got here is you can't say both and you can't say neither. Trey, you're obviously familiar. Every question will start with Jake, and then we will go over to Trey. We kind of got into this first one already, but we'll go ahead and solidify it. Jake, PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation, no doubt.
All right, for you, Trey.
PlayStation.
And then I think we just got into your favorite game. I'm assuming that it's going to be Call of Duty or Fortnite, Jake.
Yeah, definitely COD.
Is Madden your favorite, Trey, or you got something you like more?
I'm a big hockey guy, so I like NHL. I'll be playing
Hell yeah,
NHL.
he be trying to get in fights.
Hey, I try to stay away from those. I don't know how to win those ones.
Man, here's what I know. I was once told by Drew Gilbert that if he used to put money on anybody to win a fight on the team, it was you.
Sure. Hey, maybe in real life, but not in the video games.
Is that true? Is that true, Trey? Are you the one not to mess with? You the one to mess around and find out?
My dad was my dad was a wrestler. I wrestled a little bit, and my dad always taught me, hey, it doesn't matter how big the cat is, as long as you got the better technique.
There you go. All right, Jake. I pretty much know the answer for both y'all, but you never know. Bowling or golfing?
Golf. Yeah, Trey and I have been golfing a lot.
Yeah, I figured, but I don't know, man. Some golfing's what you might do more, but some people might like bowling, man. It's a good time with friends or the girl. Let them win. All right, this question's just for Jake because you've had this before, Trey. But I gotta know in regards to Jake, man. Do you like the smoky grays better or the dark mode black for alternate uniforms?
I got to go smoky gray because the year that I got drafted, we didn't have the dark mode until the year after, so I wasn't able to wear them. So,
but you ain't you wouldn't pick those. I mean, you might be a little jealous because you ain't got to wear them.
all black would be pretty cool. I am jealous I didn't get to wear them, but
during that 2022 season when I was going around watching Trey and them come through Mississippi and rip through Ole Miss and Mississippi State, they was wearing the blacks when they put up 29 runs on Mississippi State, and they're wearing the blacks when they were up 10-0 in the third. The blacks, it came with it. Like, I mean,
they're
I'm
dangerous.
telling you, they left the state of Mississippi on fire when they got out of here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, hey, they don't like Tennessee in baseball no more at all. Like it's one year ruined it. Y'all are the villains forever.
Oh yeah.
Somebody
we
gotta
always
be the
did
bad
well in
guy.
the smoky grays too. We always did well in those.
Yeah, no, I love both of them. I think Tennessee's got the best kit. Obviously they couldn't be in the college baseball hub tournament this year because they're last year's winner. But
Mhm.
I actually think y'all should be removed from it altogether because y'all get to be back in it next year, and I would just vote y'all to win. So everybody on here leave. All right, here's the real question. We're gonna make y'all enemies right here. All right, starting with you, Jake. Who's got the better glove, you or Trey?
Numbers and just up to this point, definitely Trey. But that's honestly one of the things I'm gonna be working on a lot this year. So
Oh, nice humble pick. Trey, if you turn around and say Jake to be a nice guy, I swear.
Well, you see, I already told you in this interview when we were on here last time. I learned all my tools and trades from Jake Rucker and Andre. So when you see me out there making those diving plays, just
yeah,
know
Andre.
the dude who wore number 7 the year before me, yeah, he taught me a lot of those things.
All right, I'm gonna let y'all play the nice.
Y'all some liars. Oh, my mama, y'all some liars.
It's all love over here.
Jake didn't take his cue from Pavoloni. When Pavoloni came on here and I asked that question, I asked Jake who had the best bombs. He said me. And then Trey immediately follows up with I hit more. And then it got into a battle.
Y'all got y'all P's and Q's right,
That's
but
Pav. Pav
the
is
real.
like that. That's just Pav.
Trey said he had the best bombs because he hit the most in response to it. And I was like, I can't. It is what it
Good
is.
answer.
The math is math.
It's a good answer.
One more shout out to the SEC for robbing Trey of his award. He had the most home runs, RBIs, and better batting average. But what does that mean, Mike? It means nothing.
You're not good enough, Trey. Sorry.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
It's what the white man who never played ball wanted to let me know to tell you. That's
I appreciate you.
All right, Jake. Travel to Europe or travel to Asia?
Europe for sure. The food.
What's the first place you'd go to?
Italy. I love Italian food.
That's my dog. Come on.
It's because you're Italian, bro. Go on somewhere. Trey, what you got?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That was literally on my bucket list, is to travel to Italy this year.
Man.
And all that just so y'all can get some pizza you can get in Chicago, bro.
It's not even.
Funny story. So I got a teammate in the Twins org with me, Dave Festa. He's from Jersey, and he will not eat pizza or Italian food from anywhere but his hometown.
It's valid though. That's really how it is.
He won't eat any Italian food outside of New Jersey or New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pride thing because I do the same thing because being that you're from Nashville, Jake, Nashville tries to pretend that it's got good barbecue, and I'm from Memphis, and I don't like barbecue from anywhere outside of Memphis, especially Nashville on the other part of the state claiming some bull.
Yeah, we got hot chicken though.
Matter of fact, you probably dislike Memphis, don't you? Because let me tell you something, Mike. If you lived in Tennessee, people from Memphis don't like Nashville, and Nashville don't like Memphis. It's a beef.
I feel like I'm a Memphis guy myself. I've never been, but I've been told I'm a Memphis.
It's Grind City. Grind City.
Exactly. All right. So being that we have a guest, Mike, I don't know if you're aware of this because it's one of our football guests, but Quadavius Burdett from Ole Miss that we were just talking about, he's going to be in the upcoming season of Survivor. So it's pretty cool that we have a guest that's going to be in Survivor. So it leads me to ask this question, Jake. If you were on Survivor with Trey, who would last longer, you or Trey?
Oh gosh. I'd say me.
You agree, Trey?
I mean, if I don't gotta go in the water because I'm gonna drown in the water, then I'm gonna
Oh,
say me.
damn. Yeah, you out. If you ain't good in the water. They actually had a cat on this past season who the first episode he showed in the first competition he couldn't swim, and I thought, damn, why would you go on Survivor for real if you can't swim good?
Hey, that's what I'm saying. So if I gotta swim, then hey, I ain't gonna last too long.
My parents made me do lessons when I was younger, so
yeah, no, you got to know how. Man, I actually got a lesson early. I had those parents that just threw you in the pool when you didn't know how, and you better learn quick. So
that's what it was.
All right, so Trey, this may not be as hard of a question now that you told me your resolution, but Jake, I'll start with you. Always have a full battery on your phone, or always have a full tank of gas in the car?
Got to be gas. I do a lot of driving. A lot of traveling. Gotta fill up the tank for sure.
Trey, I'm gonna assume you're going that way now that you're getting off the phone.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay for gas. I feel like you can really charge your phone anywhere, to be honest, too.
Charge your phone in the car, man.
Hey, yeah, exactly.
You just gotta have it running. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Facts. I just wanted to put a new this or that on their mic, and I was going through them, and I thought, we got some younger cats. They might say phone, but nah, that question's gonna be scrapped going in the next episode. But this is the money question, literally. All right, Jake, this is the last question. We'll see how you answer it. We'll see if you answer it truthfully. We'll know if you're lying. Lose all of the money you've earned from pro baseball so far, or lose the memories that you've gotten from pro baseball so far.
Money, for sure. You can't take back memories.
That man just lied to us, Mike. Nah, I'm just kidding. Trey, what about you?
I mean, I'm gonna have to say memories too. Like I tell a bunch of people, like if I could pay a certain amount of money to go back and be in that Tennessee locker room, I'd probably pay all the money in the world.
Yeah, we do in a heartbeat.
I mean, I got a new perspective now. Me and Mike sat here and looked at Paul Skeens on this same show, and we asked him. We formatted his differently. We said, you lose this past year with the national championship, and you get to keep your $10 million that you got for your contract, or vice versa. And that man said, I'll take the national championship and the memories, and you can keep the $10 million. And I was like, I mean, I believe him because that man just had both, and he told me which one he'd take.
Yeah,
Mike, I'm taking 10 million. Bump these fools.
It's
Like I know what it's like on the other side when you got a wife and kids and you got to pay for everything. Man, I really value money now. See, y'all ain't got that yet. You'll have a different perspective.
Okay, let me ask you a question if that's possible.
All right.
The 10 mil or keep the podcast?
Oh, 10 mil. No, I'm lying. Man, I really
That's a
like
good question.
talking to all you guys and then going and watching y'all. Man, I'll probably keep the podcast. Damn.
Hey, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, Mike saying he taking the 10 mil.
Nah, listen, listen, when you come from mud,
get
bro,
out.
it's a different mentality.
No,
bro,
with Mike, you got to flip it because he's on like 5-6 different podcasts. You got to tell him he can't talk about sports no more. Period.
Oh shit! I mean, I gotta talk to my girl. I'd rather talk about sports, to be honest. I don't want to talk to her. Come on, bro.
So, man, I already got in trouble with my daughter on here. Now you're gonna get in trouble with your girl. Hey, neither of us gonna be able to get off here.
She's in Mexico right now. She on vacation, so I don't give a fuck. She don't come back till Friday. That's a Friday problem. I'm not dealing with that Friday. I'm living lavish. Y'all don't even want to know what clubs I've been to since New Year's.
Mike, if she's not in town, what time Friday?
I don't know, to be honest.
If she got a late flight, meet me in Baton Rouge. I'm covering LSU gymnastics to start the season. Come on with me.
I ain't coming back then. I gotta be back. I got work Saturday morning. I gotta be back.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I'll let you close this episode down then. No fun.
Without a doubt. But man, first and foremost, follow these cats if you haven't already at Jake Rucker with 2 R's at the end. Make sure you put that second R because you'll end up following another weirdo who isn't the Jake Rucker of GBO, Tennessee Volunteers, and TLips22 for Trey Lipscomb. You got to make sure you follow those cats. Guys, really quickly, is there anything I don't know about that needs to be promoted? You guys got anything going on in the future, whether that's coaching lessons or charity events, anything at all?
Nothing right now, but we'll let you know if we do have anything coming up for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
Trey,
for sure. Yeah,
Trey,
nothing.
we got a clothing line coming out anytime soon. What's going on?
Hey, you want to be a model for my clothing line? I got you.
Dude, we can run it. I'm like 5'8", but I can run it. We got it.
Hey, let's do it. Nah, but nothing else. If I do have anything, then it'll be on Instagram. So yeah, just Instagram's the best way to reach out.
Come on, most definitely. Until then, man, we'll see y'all next week for episode 10. Excited about that one. Andrew Pickney and Elijah Nunez. It's going to be a great episode. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait to get 2024 rolling. I was gone for a while, but I'm back in blood, baby. They can't fuck with me. I'm back, baby. Until then, stay beautiful, stay lovely. Have an amazing rest of y'all 2024. And be kind, man, because it's free.